We told you we'd be back.
Heroes come and go. Legends remain forever.
We want to hear you enjoying yourself.
You're in big trouble, mister.
W3L. W3L.
It's twice the action on W3L Wrestling Showdown on YouTube this week as the strongest woman in British wrestling, Hera, challenges the W3L Women's Champion, the Misfit Moxie Malone. And Hugo Harris is determined to turn his fortunes around as he challenges Wrestling Showdown Champion Iron Drew Marshall. We are on the eve of the Great Winter's Bash, but the W3L landscape could change this week on W3L Wrestling Showdown.
W3L Women's Championship! Introducing first.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the longest running weekly wrestling show on YouTube. It is W3L Wrestling Showdown. We're just 24 hours away from the Great Winter's Bash. It's happening tomorrow night in Dunfermline. And here she comes, the Women's Champion. Talk about championship range, you talk about championship defences. Moxie Malone, no argument, has been a fighting champion when she has been called up to defend the championship by management. She managed to survive Ruby Roberts and Tate All Thriller when the fans picked a triple threat match. Ladies and gentlemen, her opponent, of course, they have faced before on a showdown. It was the night where Hera would twist her knee, injure her knee at the very least, and it would put her out of action for a few months.
And now let's bring out our opponent.
And here comes the power-lifting goddess. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's just very, very quickly cover what's been going on with W3L social media. It was announced, and here it is. Hera will go one-on-one with Tate tomorrow night, the Great Winter's Bash. Now, Tate's got to be rubbing her hands here because if Hera wins this match and becomes champion, management have made it clear that that match will become a championship match. So if Hera wins here, her first title defense will be in 24 hours tomorrow night. That's unheard of in W3L. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another fun fact is Hera is undefeated in W3L. She's yet to be pinned, she's yet to be submitted. She is the favourite winning this contest. Very unusual as the champion, the underdog. I'm not saying Molly is an underdog, but compared to the role that Hera's on, her strength, her power, at the minute I do not see how Moxie is going to cope with that. And she doesn't want to let the title go. Is that maybe an omen that she realises that perhaps this is her last few moments as champion? There's what it's all about, the W3L Women's Championship. And now we're underway, the bell sounds. Moxie wants the classic Killian Leaf to be quiet, call it up a tie-up. And there is the strength of Hera, just takes that one step back and Moxie eats the canvas, claiming she wasn't ready. Let's go behind. Of course, the W3L Women's Championship is the oldest W3L Women's Championship in Scotland. Dates back a good 20 years, and of course the one that holds the longest record of the W3L Women's Championship, the Emily Hayden. And look at that, no one home there for Moxie. And a nice hip toss from that corner to the other side, and Hera full steam ahead. And again, Hera just showing her strength. And look at this, using her strength. Irish whip in the corner again, and chest first goes Moxie. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, we do have the Showdown Championship match immediately following this contest. Andrew Marshall will go against Hugo Harris, and there's that Samoan drop. This could be it with the back press. And gets a 2 count as Hera and Moxie rolls to the outside. Of course, we've got big news concerning the 4 versus 4. Sammy, ladies and gentlemen, Sammy Sparks is out after what transpired with Chris Renfrew last week. We'll show you that what happened, but Sammy Sparks has been replaced by Team W3L, and we've got that replacement right here. And again, immediately following this broadcast, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, a slap, and Hera now giving chase. Moxie feeling a bit of bravery and catches Hera as they get back in the ring. After utilising that 5 count, of course, Moxie has the championship advantage. And look, that's Hera just again having her way with the champion. The champion got a little offense in, but right now it's all Hera. And look at this full Nelson, and like a rag doll, Moxie now, and back into it. Moxie doesn't know if she's coming or going. Oh, wait a minute, and you know what, normally I would be like, use the hair, but at this rate, Moxie's need to do anything and everything she can, even just to survive. Not win, survive. That's what it's all going to be about. Tomorrow night with that 4 versus 4, and look at this, Moxie got caught. No, she didn't. Did that time with a clothesline, back elbow, another clothesline, Waste go behind. Hera. Well, that's a slam this time. Moxie now. Again in that famous carrying. Hera's going to bench press a little. Oh, wait a minute. Moxie. Sunset flip could be all. No. Oh, Hera. Wait a minute. Hooks the legs in. It's a cover. Oh, wait a minute. Moxie reverses. DDT. Sidewalk slam by Hera. Moxie kicking out of everything that Hera throws. You gotta give Moxie credit where credit's due. She is taking all the punishment. Hera is dishing out. This match has definitely been one-sided. Moxie again, and that famous carry. Oh, this time Moxie, I believe she raked the eyes there. Hera now in the corner, and Moxie, she's removing the turnbuckle padding, I believe she is. And of course that would get her disqualified. She's went into her knee pad, her boot. Wait. That brass knucks. Moxie's got brass knucks. Moxie's got, oh, right off the skull of Hera with the knucks. I'd say just to do anything and everything, but I didn't mean that. And she gets her. You kidding me?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still W3L Women's Champion, Moxie Malone.
Moxie Malone is the first woman to pin the powerlifting goddess. And Hera now, she's up. You've got to be wondering what just happened. Moxie all proud of herself. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Well, ladies and gentlemen, talking about desperate times and desperate measures, we've been asked, well, we received this footage. I'll let it speak for itself. Guys in the truck, take it away.
Good evening, delivery dude, if that is your real name. I'm looking for a man with a very specific set of skills, and I've heard that you can deliver anywhere in the Dunfermline region for only a £5. So I've got the most important assignment that you've ever been given in all of your delivery days, delivery dude. I need you to go to B&Q. Fetch me 2 of every kind of brick that you can find and deliver it personally to the Carnegie Leisure Centre in Dunfermline. Send it right to the commune's private dressing room. And should you accomplish your task, you may even be offered a spot within the commune itself. That on top of a £5, I'm calling that a winner. Aye. And I still need the Milky Way for the Dunkerrock. Right, that's fine, I'll see you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, looking sharp, looking for bricks for tomorrow night. I think he might need more than that with Team W3L on his case. However, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Delivery Dude, that will sponsor the Great Winters Bash in Dunfermline tomorrow night. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Delivery Dude, he covers Dunfermline, Royce, Inverkeithing, Crossgate, Townhill, Crossford and Kelty. Monday to Thursdays 10 AM to 8 PM, Fridays 10 AM to 9 PM and Sundays 10 AM to 6 PM. If you don't want to do that late night cooking, if you want to do that late night shopping, then call a delivery, but most importantly, call a dude. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the matches you can see is the 4v4, Team W3L versus Team Commune. Of course, the Jackal, the Tormentor, Looking Sharp and Luke Aldridge, they make up the Commune. They're going to go up against Mike Musso, Fulton King, and it would have been Sammy Sparks. However, this happened last week with Sammy Sparks and Chris Renfrew. Let's take you back and show you what happened to Sammy Sparks.
Give me the microphone now! From President Wales, Robert Jones! Come subject to change! This ain't gonna be a match! This is gonna be a massacre! Play more music! Play more music now! Play it now!
And of course, with that happening to Sammy Sparks last week with Chris Renfrew, Sammy is out of Team W3L. It will now be Mike Musso, Fulton King and Saqib Ali returns to help Team W3L take out the Commune. Of course, Ali's had his issues with the Commune in the past. Who can forget when Tay made her debut, it was her that would blind Saqib Ali, and Saqib Ali would lose out on the World Heavyweight Championship. So therefore, Saqib Ali looking for some measure of revenge. But who will be that important fourth man in Team W3L? We'll have to wait till tomorrow night to find that out, who the fourth man for Team W3L will be. In another contest that's been made, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be an international incident as the returning Mr. Tim Strange takes on the Bulgarian Baker. That's right, the Bulgarian Baker also returns premium live events tomorrow night at the Great Winters Bash. An international incident between Bulgaria and Canada. That is going to be a huge contest. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to your main event for Showdown this week. It's the Showdown Championship. I am Drew Marshall going one-on-one with Hugo Harris.
This will be a singles match, and this will be for the W3L Wrestling Showdown Championship!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event, and keep in mind to stay tuned following this contest. We're going to have the rundown for the Great Winters Bash tomorrow night in Dunfermline. And what an event it is going to be. You've seen some of the matches through this broadcast and on our social medias, but we're going to take a even closer look following this contest. Showdown Championship on the line. Hugo Harris about to challenge Iron Drew Marshall. And you heard it there, the self-proclaimed most handsome man in professional wrestling.
Iron Brewhead! Oh! You're disgusting, you need a shower. Disgusting. Your hair's slightly better.
Hugo Harris, of course, coming off a huge match at All Thriller. He's defeated by Mark Monroe. Looks to redeem himself by becoming the Showdown champion. He held gold here in W3L. He's a former W3L breakout champion. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, following this broadcast, we'll have the rundown of the entire card of the Great Winters Bash, and one match in particular we will announce who will be replacing Sammy Sparks after he was viciously attacked by Chris Renfrew last week.
And now let's
do you hear the roof blow off for this man, a two-time Showdown champion, retaining his championship all thriller in the grueling 30-minute Iron Man match against Liu King Shark. And there he is. He's going to try it again. That wasn't good enough. Come on, Leaf, you can do better than this. Let's go. There we are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, implications are at stake here because Andrew Marshall will face Judge Jimmy James at the Great Winners Bash, but will that be for the Showdown Championship? Well, thank you, Stevie Wizard, as always. This is Drew Marshall's first championship defence since winning it back. Hugo Harris could become the new Showdown champion, which would then mean the match between Judge Jimmy James, and this is what it's all about. The match between Judge Jimmy James and Drew Marshall would just be a one-on-one contest. Of course, Andrew Marshall looking for some revenge after what happened at Resolution.
Make sure that doesn't get broken.
Right now the focus needs to be on Hugo Harris. Not 24 hours from now, Judge Jimmy James on the eve of Great Winter's Bash.
I would never have a weapon. Hey, Grandad, you gonna cheer for me, eh?
Well, Archie Williams sounds the bell. Here we are, we're underway.
Was it cold in the ground this morning?
Well, Harris just doesn't like anybody. Here we go, both men lock up. And Marshall shows his dominance here. Harris complaining that Marshall's pulling the hair, and there's a shove, and Marshall, as Archie Williams gets in between both men, and Harris is in the ropes. Harris complaining that Marshall was pulling his hair. I couldn't see that from my eyesight, my vantage point. Archie Williams would have had a better look than I did, but at the moment doesn't seem to be acknowledging that Harris here was pulling. Now look at this now, and Marshall again. Harris complaining that hair has been pulled, and possibly that time, and once again Marshall losing his cool. And that's the thing, Marshall does not want to make a mistake. That's all it takes for Harris, is a mistake to be made, and Harris will take advantage of it.
I'm trying to concentrate. I made a good point. I made a good point. Oh, listen to him. Oh, listen to this loser.
Marshall trying to say that the Harris is a fake tan. Harris says no, that's from the Bahamas. Another combo tie up. And Marshall, oh, a nice switch by Harris. And Harris has got the hair.
I'm off, ref, I'm off.
And oh, shoved Harris out of his boots. And now look at this, stand side hug lock by Marshall, as Harris tried to throw it right there. And Marshall hangs on. to that headlock as Harris tries to find a way out of his hold. Nice shoulder block.
Improve my hair, man! You go ahead! Shut up!
Harris does not want to count it here because not only will he lose the match, he's not going to win the championship on the outside of the ring. Of course, Marshall has the championship advantage. Harris wants to just get in the ring, maybe taking some time out, but he doesn't have that long. Back in the ring now. Oh, now Harris wants a handshake. Harris wants sportsmanship.
Don't tell him!
Fans here in Leaf are telling Marshall, no, don't do it, don't trust him. And oh, wait a minute, Harris trying something there.
Come on, shake my hand.
Is that for my sexiness to blow you happy?
I'm the most handsome man in wrestling. Come on, big and sport. Shake my hand.
Harris now. And once again.
Shut up! I'm trying to concentrate. Big and sport. Come on, man.
Well, I shake his hand.
The fans are still saying no as Marshall's asking, shall I shake his hand? And Anna says, yeah, come on, you can trust me. And no, it shakes the hand of the official.
Perfectly nice guy. Thank you, referee.
Is that enough
Respectable.
to convince Marshall?
It's
Once
not
again
fake time.
complaining about the fake tan.
I just got a skin condition that makes it rub off. Hey! Shut up!
Well, the nice guy thing didn't last very long. Yeah, the fans here in Leith, Iron Drew.
I'm a nice guy.
Then we're going to get a handshake. Oh, here we go. Is Marshall going to... Well, there we go. We've got a handshake.
See? What a lovely, lovely guy.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh, no.
Harris tried a shortcut, but Marshall had it figured out. And now what's Harris going to do? Well, again, it's championship advantage. If Marshall gets disqualified, Harris would win the match, but the championship would stay with Marshall. And look at this now. Archie Williams has the leg. Oh! And to the outside goes Harris. Well, there's capacity crowd here in Leith. And now Marshall giving chase to Harris. Had enough of this cat and mouse game. Harris rolls to the other side as Marshall gets back in the ring and he's going to look into his mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall indeed.
Handsome face I've ever seen.
And, oh, mirror, mirror on the wall indeed. Here comes Marshall. And oh, hot shot by Harris.
Watch this, loser!
A nice agility by Harris and a few jumping jacks.
That's why I'm the most handsome man in wrestling.
Harris allowing Marshall to get that vertical base. Ducks the clothesline as Harris in a beautiful standing drop kick. Right on the money.
You
Stomps now.
I'm up. You're gonna have to cheer louder for Drew. He can't hear you.
And it's whip. Marshall hard into that corner as he's now. And that middle rope there, and now Harris choking him out. Referee now. Harris slingshots Marshall, and now look at this blatant disrespect. Got a 2 count on there, and now just putting the boots to Marshall. There's another lateral press, only got 2, and now in the rear reverse chin lock here. Marshall now trying to get this capacity crowd here and Leaf behind him. Get some motivation, feed off that. Feed off the fans here in Leaf, and clothesline by Harris. And that slows down Marshall. And you can bet right now, somewhere in Kelty, Judge Jimmy James is watching on. With a smile and a grin on his face. And once again with that reverse chin lock locked in tight. Marshall getting that vertical base again. Breaks out of it again, ducks the clothesline this time, but gets caught with a back elbow by Harris. Could be out here, we could have a new champion. Marshall gets that shoulder up. Well, if Hugo Harris was made of chocolate, he'd eat himself. This guy is in love with himself.
Christmas! This is your hero, huh?
Right to the eyes.
Hey, come on. This loser. Touch his eyes. Get the Specsavers for a new pair of glasses, loser.
Harris mouthing off to the official now for saying I didn't rake his eyes, we all saw it.
Come on, Drew. You gotta cheer for Drew. I'm gonna choke him out.
Harris, of course, got this reverse chin lock back in again, and the referee does need to check that this is not a choke, and clearly he's happy that it isn't. Hands dropped twice, it drops a third time, it does not. There's still life in Iron Drew Marshall yet. As the fans here in Leaf encourage him to get up, he is up. Ducks the clothesline, ducks the elbow. Oh, goes for the crossbody, but Harris ducks. And it was a crash, bad landing for Marshall. There is a nice elbow drop in lateral breast for the championship, and gets 2. Harris saying it was 3, but the fact of the matter is the officials said it was 2, and that's the opinion that counts. And it's now with Marshall into the other corner.
Come on, Drew.
I don't think this is having much effect on Marshall. I think it's waking him up. I think all this is doing is... Yeah, there's the block. Oh. Uh-oh, Marshall now got the second wind, and oh my Lord! Harris just bounced from the corner halfway across the ring, and now Marshall's warming up the band. He's tuning it up. Super kick incoming. No, Harris caught him. Clothesline. Harris now crawls into the cover for the Showdown Championship, and Marshall got that shoulder up. And frustration is setting in on Harris. Harris now. There's both men up. Here comes the stop, but Harris missed it. There's the headbutt. Harris could be out. Into the cover for Marshall. And Marshall retains.
And still, Wrestling Showdown champion, Iron Drew Marshall.
I'm the man.
You are indeed.
I'm the man. And I'm the champion.
You certainly are. Ladies and gentlemen, now that means on to the judge. Tomorrow night, the judge, the jury, the executioner, who will it be? Who will be the Showdown champion? When Dunfermline is all said and done, when winter is over. Winter is indeed coming tomorrow night to Dunfermline. The Great Winners Bash. And tickets are still available at www.w3lwrestling.com. Let's take a look at what we can expect to see in Dunfermline. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first up, the returning Canadian superstar, Mr. Tim Strange, will go one-on-one with the Bulgarian Baker. That's right, an international contest between Mr. Tim Strange and the Bulgarian Baker. And then in from there, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Storm returns also. He'll go one-on-one with the most dangerous, sadistic, twisted Chris Renfrew. Will Johnny Storm manage to be able to stop Chris Renfrew, or will Renfrew just be adding another victim to his list? And then in from there, ladies and gentlemen, the women's division as the powerhouse Hera will go one-on-one with the Communes Tate. And of course the Showdown Championship is on the line as Andrew Marshall goes up his former mentor, Judge Jimmy James, who will be the Showdown Champion after tomorrow night in Dunfermline. And of course the main event, it's Team W3L against the Commune. And as we spoke earlier on, ladies and gentlemen, Sammy Sparks will no longer be part of Team W3L, so now it will be Mike Musso, Fulton King, Sakib Ali and a fourth man yet to be named, and that will make up to Team W3L against the Commune's Jackal, Tormentor looking sharp, and the heavyweight champion of the world, Luke Aldridge. It all comes your way tomorrow night from Dunfermline. It's the Great Winners Bash. We'll see you tomorrow night.